I promise you that we are going to have an exciting moment. For those of you who already know me, welcome. And those who don't know me, for the first time you are meeting me, my name is Reverend Bijoue Birch. I'm a peace and security expert. I work with the UN Women. I'm a reverend. I'm an entrepreneur. This evening, I'm wearing the cap of an entrepreneur, and I'm about to take you on a short journey to show to you something that I met exactly a year ago, a service which I always say is magical. And I'm about to let you know what it is all about. Before I start, just imagine that you drop your phone or your computer just go bad. What is going to happen? I can imagine you know that is a catastrophe, because your memories, your pictures, your videos, your files, your lifetime, sometimes half lifetime of work in forms of documents and files gone in a second. And this happens every day to many people who thought this could never happen to them, but it does happen. And that is why I'm always excited when I want to talk about an option that will enable you save, back up your data, your information, knowing very well where it is and knowing very well that it is safe, and you will always have access to it everywhere, anywhere on this globe. Ladies and gentlemen, give me 2 to 5 seconds while I share my presentation with you, and then I will show you why I am so excited this evening to be with you. Okay. I believe you can all see my screen. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to be talking about what we call God backup, which more and more is becoming actually a household name. God backup. This evening, I'm going to be doing this with my dear husband, Mr. Calvin Birch, who actually is my senior partner in this opportunity that we'll be showing you. So God backup. My presentation is not moving. What's happening? Wow. 1 second, please. Okay, so it was moving. All right, let me go back. Perfect. Sorry about that. So, God Backup actually is a cloud storage service. A cloud storage service which is secure, and it is given at an unbelievable price. And it's also an opportunity to partake in a lucrative affiliate program. So we always talk about God Backup as your ultra secure personal cloud storage. Keep these 2 words in your mind: God Backup and cloud storage. Very, very secure. It is a service that was developed 2.5 years ago by a company called the Global Virtual Opportunities. The Global Virtual Opportunities started work 27 years ago and started in Canada, in Quebec, Gatineau. And after a few years of working in Gatineau, moved to the US, in Texas to be precise, and owns its own data center. Global Virtual Opportunities is not a company that is not professional. Very, very professional, very, very legal, credible, with a wealth of experience. I'm saying this for you to know that I personally have a lot of confidence in this company. Having experienced what they are capable of doing, they hold on to their word, they give you support, they are credible. And ladies and gentlemen, Global Virtual Opportunities is not a Ponzi scheme. It is not a pyramid. It's not doing anything like that. Why do I say so? Because if it were doing something like pyramid or a Ponzi scheme, for 27 years, it wouldn't have been known. If you get to the internet and you type in global virtual opportunities, you will see what this company is all about. And there are faces behind this. And this is the team led by Joel Therin, who is the CEO, has a whole lot of people, technical, administrative, and a board who are working in this team that have been working on God Backup as a service. So you can see some of the faces here. You have the chief development officer, you have chief technical engineers, you have how do you call it, front end developer. I remember this front end and back end developer stuff, technical engineers, and of course you have the software developers as well. So this is just to let you know that God Backup, which is a service, is developed by Global Virtual Opportunities, a real company with an office located at this address. So if you like, you can check it up. If you have anybody in the US, let them just check up. You can take a snapshot of this slide, and then you can check up where the office is, physical address. And if the people like, they can go visit. Okay? So this is just to let you know that this is real. What I'm talking about is real, and I have been experiencing it for a few months now. Why at all are we talking about cloud storage? We all know that in today's world, data is actually generated every second. And when we are talking about data, we are talking from whatever content we produce on social media through interactions. It can be pictures, it can be video. In fact, this evening when I got back from the office, I told you that I'm a pastor, I'm a reverend. I quickly did like a 5-minute TikTok video for my audience, over 1,000 people. And that was content. And it is generated. There are people who generate that every hour. You see? And every digital interaction produces valuable data. So you see that whatever you do has to do with data. And in this world, when we are generating data, we have to store it somewhere. So we know that data has become the new oil that needs to be stored somewhere. So digital storage and its boundless opportunities is actually real because of the pictures you and I take, because of the videos we take, because of the files we produce at work, and we all need to store them somewhere. So GVO, having examined all of this and knowing very well that data needs to be backed up somewhere, leveraged on 2 global trends. And the first one is the world of smartphones. We all know that without phone, you cannot function now. Everyone owns a phone. Even in the remote village, an old man, an old woman, a young person, middle-aged people, everyone owns a phone. Why? Because we are communicating and we are doing everything with the phone. And when we are talking about the phone, we are talking about doing bank transactions, doing work with your phone. People are so much reliant on their phones that it has even become an addiction to some people. Some people can't go to bed without setting their alarm using their phones. People can't go to the washroom without their phone. When you leave your phone at home, you will have to go back and pick it up. I remember last week I was in Namibia, and somehow my work laptop just went off. I could not log in because of security issues, but my phone was working for me. So everywhere I went, I had to carry my phone. It became my office. So you will see that reliance on cell phone is all over the place. Now, when you are using your phone, it means you are doing a lot of work on the phone. You are generating data. And one of the things about data is the fact that you run the risk of losing your data. I'm sure everyone on this call definitely must have lost data one way or the other. And we have statistics that tells us that an amazing 45% of cell phone users have accidentally damaged their cell phone or have lost their data. Imagine you dropping your phone and then your screen is cracked and you cannot have access to what is inside the phone. So we are told that 5,700 people, 700 screens are cracked every hour, which is true. You could be talking to someone and then after a few hours you call the person, the call is not going through or is going through, the person cannot pick up. You just want to find out, 30 minutes ago my phone just dropped and then my screen is cracked, so I'm not able to access calls. And then you start asking yourself what is happening inside that phone, what's going to happen to everything on that phone. And we are also told that at every 43 seconds a laptop or cell phone is stolen. Those who have had their cell phone stolen absolutely can agree to this, that it happens at the speed of light. So everyone is looking for solutions. How do we guarantee that our data is actually securely stored somewhere so that even if my laptop crashes or if my phone drops and I lose everything, I can get a new laptop, I can get a new phone, still have access to every single data that I have saved on any of those either phone or iPad or laptop or whatever I am using. Now, in search of solutions, I talked and I told you that, remember the word cloud storage. Cloud storage is not a new word. Once you own a phone or an iPad or or a laptop, you have been using cloud storage in the form of either iCloud if you're using Apple, or Microsoft, you have Dropbox, you have OneDrive, you have Google Drive, or you have iDrive. Now, all these people, all these services have been working so well so far. But what we are saying is there is this other option called God Backup. God Backup is another option that comes with an added value for you to use. When I talk about the added value, I always smile because the value is so much heavy and it is so fantastic that I think of it as a magical value added to a cloud storage. Why do I say so? There's a comparison here. When you look at this comparison, you have on the left side iCloud, Dropbox, and Google Drive. And on the right, you have God Backup. Now, let's have a look at what I'm talking about. iCloud, when you need 6 terabytes for iCloud, for 6 users only, it's for only 6 users, and you need it for a year, you need to pay $360 US. Talk about Dropbox. You need to pay $660 US every 12 months for 6 terabytes. And that goes for only 3 users. And then when you come to our famous Google Drive, you need to pay $216 US for a year, 5 terabytes. Unfortunately, for only 1 user. And that is the truth. No matter how they split it monthly for you, when you do the calculation, you will end up with this, right? Now on the right, look at God Backup. God Backup is talking about $99.97 a year. Let me just round it up to $100 a year. You get your 6 terabytes, just like the others. Now, this 6 terabytes, you can use it on unlimited computers or devices. As if that is not enough, you can actually give some of these to your family members or your friends. You can share. You can give 1 terabyte here. You can give 200 gigabyte here. But the truth is, you can use it with 6 separate accounts, yourself and 5 other people. As if that is not enough. Now, this is where I smile very, very wide, because God Backup is compatible across different and all operating systems. You can have an iOS. I'm talking about Apple users. You can have Microsoft. You can have Linux. You can have a MacBook. Whatever operating system you have, you can use the God Backup to save or back up your data. And it's easy to use. You don't need to be an IT person. I don't remember being an IT person when I was using iCloud or Google Drive. No, I was just saving. If anything at all, I didn't even know how it worked. The system was doing it so much that sometimes you don't even know what is saving or what has not saved until you lose it and you look for it and then you don't find it. But with God Backup, you actually see your stuff being saved and you know where it is saved and you see the way it has been saved according to years, according to days, according to months. It is simply fantastic. So when you use God Backup, it even opens your mind to what exactly is happening to your data that you are saving. And that's why we always say it comes with an unbeatable value. Look at the price, $100 a year for 12 months. Just imagine that. Now, as if that is not enough, I want to let you know that with God Backup, security is a priority. When GVO was actually developing God Backup, the company knew very well that when you are talking about data, you must talk about security. So the security of your data, either active or passive, there are layers of protections in the system of God Backup as a cloud storage that is designed to protect your data, like I said, through multiple layers. And we are talking about a bit encryption that is 256. That is military grade. The same security that the others like Apple, like Amazon, like Microsoft are using for their cloud storage is the same 256-bit encryption, military grade. I am repeating it for you to know exactly what I'm talking about. This information that is coming up is for people who are IT savvy, who like asking questions about NTFS integration. They like asking questions about SSO, single sign-on. That is why I put this information here. And you have more added layers used at God Backup. And let me just let you know that you have machine learning based suspicious login detection, that you will have an alarm, a kind of alarming, an alarm email that comes to you. It's automated and they do security checks and give warning every now and then. Sometimes you'll be there, then you will receive a kind of email or a warning asking you or telling you somebody is trying to get into your system. Why would you be worried? We simply encrypt everything so no one knows nothing. And added to this, before I come to this, it's very, very important for you to know that what I'm saying is not just because I am saying it. There is a video that we are going to show you now. It will take you on a tour of the server room of God Backup, where your information is backed up securely. The CEO, I have not seen the CEO of Apple doing anything like that. I don't even know if they own a server room. I've not seen Google before, but this I have seen. That tells you how transparent and how solid this 27 years old organization is all about. Before we show the video, let me quickly go through the other benefit that talks about bulk emailing. Okay, the video is on. Please go ahead and show the video. After that, I'll come back and talk about more benefits of God Backup.
Welcome
Thank you.
to the corporate office of God Backup. Now, everybody wants to know, are we super secure? And how do we offer such an amazing service at such a low price? So this is in our tech room. And what we're going to do is we're going to take you on a tour of our server room to show you just how secure it is. And we welcome you into the family. So let's go over to the server room. So the first thing I want to explain to you guys is that we're fully PCI compliant. For physical PCI compliance, what does that mean? It means we're allowed to physically store credit cards in our data center because we're uber secure. So we've passed all the tests for that and we're legally allowed to store credit cards and your storage. So one of the first requirements for PCI compliance is you have to have 2 coded doors before you get into your server room. We also as a company like to have fun, so we call it Area 51. So anyway, I'm going to code this door with my back here so you guys can't see what the code is. Come in this way. This is a simple inventory room, guys. We build servers here and so forth. And then our second coded door Second coded door is over here, okay? And so we have a coded door here as well to get into the server room. So here we are in the server room, guys. This is where all the magic happens. So couple of things people ask. Joel, how secure is my data, and could you ever lose our data? So as an example, let's come here. It's impossible to lose your data, and here's why. If you look at this storage array, and we have, you know, hundreds of storage arrays in here, there's 14 hard drives across this storage array. 4 of these hard drives could fail, which statistically never happens, but let's say it did. 4 of these hard drives need to fail before we start to lose some data. But guess what? We're not going to lose any data because this is striped to here. This whole rack of hard drives here is copied here. Just the same here. All these hard drives here are copied here. So there's not a single point of failure relative to your data. There's also no single point of failure in the server room. As an example, there's A power and B power. Every server is plugged into A power. Every server is plugged into B power. Also, relative to cooling of this room, if you come over here, you'll see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 air conditioners in this server room. So the air is never going to be a problem. The other thing as well is we're very, very efficient. If you look up at the ceiling, let's come back over here, you'll see vents up there, and the cold air is strategically placed in front of the servers here, so it sucks in all the cold air, and it goes over into the hot aisle behind this wall here. So very, very efficient server room as well. And finally, if God forbid there was ever a fire in this room, we have here what's called a fire suppression system. What this system does, it's just a bunch of electronics behind here, but we can open it up, okay, is if God forbid there was a fire, and in 25 years there's never been a fire, but it will snuff out all the oxygen in this room. If there's no oxygen, then the fire goes out, right? So we don't use water to destroy the equipment. So that's the basics of the server room. Super, super secure and super redundant relative to your data. So the other aspect to security is we use the exact same security as Amazon, as Google, as all the big players, Microsoft. It's patented security, it's military grade, 256-bit encryption security. So your stuff is very secure. So let's come out of the server room for now. And I also want to explain, if God forbid, a bomb dropped on this building, a hurricane came in, whatever, a flood, which statistically is impossible, but if it did happen, we also back up all of your cloud data to a third-party data center just in case something ever happened to this building. And again, it's never happened, but you just never know, right?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let me quickly finish my presentation and bring in my senior partner. Okay, so you've seen it for yourselves, and when we are talking about security, you need not worry about what's going to happen to your files and your data. So one of the benefits why we talk so much about Go Backup is the fact that it has a bulk emailing system, up to 20,000 capacity, that the system, when you put in the needed information, can personalize all the email that you need to send, and also automation of the system. That simply means that if you have a clientele, let's say 5,000, 10,000, 500, 20, even 20 people or 200 people, and you don't want to be sending the email one at a time, or you just group them anyhow, and you just do it like a generic email. You just need to use Go Backup email system, the lead capture system, as we call it. And then it will actually personalize all your email. If at the end of every month you send reports or you send updates or whatever you do with your clients, it will just work on it. And if it's at the end of every month, and then at a particular time of the day that these emails have to go, you just need to set it in the system and rest. And the system will be doing that for you each and every time you need to do that. As if that is not enough, I'm sure when Calvin comes in, he will talk a little bit about the Go Backup Pro, which is actually an amazing addition that has other 5 features. This morning I was talking to somebody, the wife of a pastor. I was telling her about 2 of the features. And she was like, I'm very much interested. Do you know what that feature is? I saw that they were going to do a celebration. And I know during celebration, you take pictures and all of that. So I said, there is this feature in this cloud storage service called the memory place. Memory place. You just generate a link or use the QR code. Everyone that take pictures, what happens is they just use the QR code or the link, and then when they take the pictures, all the pictures come together, and then you can share the picture to all your members in the church. And also it will help you because of the bulk emailing system. You can also be sending information to your church members. They can be thousands, 100,000, whatever thousand there. You can send information to them. And you can also do what we call, what is the word? This other feature, testimonials. So I have a friend who is turning a professor in Nigeria. And then she said, I want everybody to write something so that we can put in the book. I said, listen, my mama, you can use the testimonial system in this cloud storage system. When you send the link, everybody will do a video. When they do the video, they send it. On the day that you are inviting us next year, February, we just have to display all these videos, people giving good testimonials about you. If you are a school, you own a school, and you want people to know about the school, every alumni can have access to that link and just do a testimonial video for you. So you can see that Go Backup is becoming bigger and bigger and more magical. And it is so flexible, and the value added, I cannot quantify it. Why do I talk so much about it? When I go everywhere, everything I have on my computer, everything I have on my phone, I have access to it. Either it's my phone or my own computer. I can get into the cloud and pick up a file, work on it. I can even collaborate with other people on the same document and get the same. Yes, you will say you have Google Drive, but Google Drive, why Go Backup is becoming so interesting is the fact that it comes with another added value that Calvin will talk about. I will close my presentation by saying that never allow your photos, videos, and digital data just go in the flash of a moment when you drop your phone or your computer crashes again. Why? Because when you choose Go Backup, 98% of the hard work has already been done for you in the system. Just pick up Go Backup. And it's taken all over the world, one country at a time. Out of 195 countries, Go Backup is in use in 161 countries in less than 3 years. That should tell you how powerful and how magical and how value added this cloud storage is. Ladies and gentlemen, let me close this part of the presentation while I help me welcome in Mr. Henry Calvin Birch, who actually is one of the leaders in Africa in Go Backup business. Calvin, please, you are welcome. Over to you.
Welcome to the digital age, where data is the new oil, fueling an unprecedented economic revolution. Every click, every transaction, every piece of data we generate powers the world's economy. Just like oil powered the last century, digital storage will drive the next one. Digital storage isn't just a resource, it's a strategic asset, an economic driver. With data doubling every 2 years, the demand for cloud storage solutions is exploding. Now is your chance to partner with a leader in this space. Imagine aligning with a company that's not just keeping up with the digital storage revolution, but leading it. From innovative cloud storage solutions to cutting-edge data management, Go Backup is at the forefront, ready to scale new heights with partners who share their vision. Partner with us, and together, we'll unlock the potential for growth, innovation, and success. Cloud storage, the new oil of our time. Let's fuel the future together. Welcome.